Oh yeah, The Last of Us Season 2 really said, nah, I'm gonna do my own thing, because how do they reveal that off rip? But it's never a bad time when you come back to the world of The Last of Us. I mean, watching it, not actually living in it. But they're doing a great job planting little emotional seeds that are gonna make the waterworks come later on in the season. And we got Isabella Merced as Dina. And so much happens, so much drama, suspense, and incredible acting. And me and you, we gotta talk about it. This is your spoiler warning. You have been warned. So we pick things up with a flashback to the ending of season 1, with Ellie asking Joel if everything he said about the Fireflies is true, and he says yes, and she walks away because she knows he's lying. We then get this shot of all of the giraffes roaming free in Salt Lake City. Can I domesticate one? I need one as a pet. After Toys R Us went out of business, it just hasn't been the same. But boom, you're looking for this. We get our first shot of Caitlin Dever. My bad, Godzilla X Kong 3 star Caitlin Dever as Abby. But dog, they reveal that Abby and her friends are Fireflies off rip as we see them mourning their losses. I'm gonna stop you right there. That's just a crazy reveal to happen off rip. That's like telling everyone that Paul Bettany's character in A Beautiful Mind isn't real. It's a bold strategy, Cotton, and we're going to find out how it pays off. But not to spoil anything for people who haven't played the game, but Abby is looking for revenge. The crew talks about taking refuge up in Seattle with a guy named Isaac, but Abby says not until we find Joel. With tears in her eyes, she says, I want to kill him. When we kill him slowly. Then we hit a 5 years later title card, and I got an endgame flashback. And we see Ellie taking down this big beefy guy. I'm not going to hold you, it's a show. She makes him tap out. But we do get introduced to young Mazzino, who's playing Jesse. Jesse? As he tells Ellie that he told that dude to, pull his punch. Because his big ass would have knocked her out. So I like that they kept that, realistic nature to this fight. We then get a better look at Jackson, Wyoming, and they're thriving. They've really cultivated a nice little town here, and it's grown over the years. We then get a look at old man Joel, who's the foreman of the crew, working on some breakers, as he looks up and he says, hey, kiddo. And as much as we want it to be Ellie, I'll take Isabella Merced as Dina as a consolation prize. But in this conversation, we learn that Dina's best friends with Ellie, and that Ellie and Joel's relationship is very strained at the moment. To which he kind of just laughs off as like a father-daughter adolescent thing. But then we hear Joel say, I can't hold myself responsible for another person's emotional state. And we find out this man is in therapy. Meanwhile, we pick up with Tommy and Ellie sniping some fucking clickers, which is ripped straight from the damn game. And it's all fun and games until Tommy tells Ellie that he's taking her off patrol and making her work the fence because Joel is requesting that because she's getting reckless out there in the field. And she's like, man, I don't care. If I get bit, I'm immune. And Tommy's like, hey. We don't say that shit. Not out loud. The Voldemort of this fucking universe. I did like how she screamed out loud in the up. Like, you gotta let that shit out sometimes. Like, I'm immune. But then we pick up with what might just be my favorite scene in the entire episode. The therapy scene between Joel and Gail, who's played by Catherine O'Hara. Kevin! And Joel is out here just trying to make it seem like it's regular daughter-father riffs. But Gail's onto his bullshit. She's like, you're not telling me something. Which is when she's like, all right, I'm a little tipsy, so I'll share something with you. I hate you because this is my first birthday without my husband because you killed him. I know you had to do it, but I just had to let that out in the air. The whole time, Joel's just looking at her like, really? But she was cooking. But we find out that her husband's name is Eugene, who's only mentioned in the games by name, and he used to work with Tommy. But we do know that Joe Pantoliano is going to be playing Eugene in this series. So it looks like we're definitely going to get more flashback scenes in this episode. And I mean, once we go golfing next week, it ain't going to be much of Joel. So they got to give us more Joel some way, somehow. But this Pedro performance right here, exquisite. When he said, I never got there with my own kid. But then she asked him, what did you do? Did you hurt her? And he said, no. I saved her. Fuck. I feel like I'm there now. Then get a nice little patrol mission with Ellie and Dina, who of course get a little reckless and get into some shit with a clicker or two. And this one right here was playing games with Ellie. She was stalking her. Ellie turned around and fired off a gun and she popped up into the smoke like Batman. I was like, okay, clicker. But Ellie said, I packed that thing too. She does get bit in the process, but hides it from Dina because that would be a big no-no if everyone found out she was immune. By the way, everyone take a moment to acknowledge how fire this shot is. But that's when they have to discuss everything that went wrong on this mission to the new council. I'm not gonna lie, Ellie was kind of eating up Tommy when she said it's something like you and Joel would do, right? Tommy was like, nah. Oh, no, that was different. But they talk about how these clickers are getting a little different. But they end up letting them go. And we find out that today is New Year's. This is when we pick up with Ellie writing down the barbecue joke. And also, don't fuck it up, don't fuck it up, don't fuck it up. As she senses Joel's presence, he pops up and you would just cut the awkward fucking tension in the room between them. She knows he's lying. And he knows that she knows that he knows he's lying. So he grabs the guitar that's been messed up in her room to fix it. And asks Ellie if she's going to be going to that New Year's thing later tonight. She just says, I don't know. And Joel just leaves. Which is when we pick up with Jesse and Ellie talking about how bad Dina is. And that's real shit. Let me get up in here and talk about it. Yeah, so Dina, and yes, Jesse and Dina used to date, but they're taking a little break because she likes her some Ellie. If Isabella Merced looked at me like this, I'm probably jumping off my balcony. But I love the slow build up of this relationship. It is kind of crazy that we got this in episode 1, but I'm digging it. They're doing something different with the season, the game. They got to change it up some way, somehow. But hey, real quick, fuck this guy. He calls him a slur. Being homophobic in a post-apocalyptic world is just crazy. Ellie's like, the fuck did you just say to me? But before she could even finish that sentence, that man Joel popped out like Randy Orton hitting an RKO out of nowhere. Sit your motherfucking ass down. Get out of here. Get out. I was ready. I stood up. I was like, shit, Joel, let me help. Dad of the year in my book. But of course, Ellie's like, I don't need your help. I just feel so bad for Joel, man. This just reminds me of Warrior. Stop being mean to an old Joel. He just loves you. And we even got the little guitar scene in this episode too, off rip, where Ellie just stares at him and then walks away as we see that he's fixed the guitar. If you know, you know. And you know it's gonna hurt. But we end the episode with teases of the looming threats. The fungus has infiltrated the town. Huh. And that crew, demon home. Abby has found Jackson and she's on her way to go golfing. A much slower burn than season 1, episode 1. But I like this. They're building up the world, building up the characters so they can hit us over the head with emotional damage. But let me know what you thought about that first episode down in the comments below. And as always, like and follow for more.